Ours is essentially a tragic age, so we refuse to take it tragically.
America. The American people, they're full of opinions, and thanks to these freedoms, like the freedom of speech, they can express these opinions. But a lot of people really don't know what freedom of speech is.
I think freedom of speech probably is a individual or an entity's right to say what he or they believe to be true without fear of government interference.
Free speech varies from state to state. I have learned after living in Massachusetts for so many years. And free speech in Georgia is different. I was advisor of my high school newspaper. An article we had on our front page actually ended up getting our principal fired. And it was brought up to the Massachusetts news stations and other newspapers around the country.
Censorship is not always a bad thing. I mean, everybody censors what we say at one time or another. It's just the smart thing to do at times.
The average teenager spends 31 hours a week online. That means that they're logging in at least once a day. So does that say that teenagers do have freedom of speech? If teenagers do have freedom of speech online, how do they use or abuse it?
The internet, there is sort of that quality of being anonymous that lets people, again, it's not freedom to just say what you want to say, it's freedom to say what you think is true. And a lot of times that does turn into slander, or people just grandstand to say something that they might not really believe in. And adults do that too, it's not just kids.
Yes.
Society can't evolve unless we are able to express ourselves. And that's why we've been static for so long now, especially since the 80s, since technology has blossomed into our lives, because we're being oppressed on a more personal level. We have to have the youth culture rebelling against whatever they were taught to be able to evolve past that.
You know, with the Arab Spring, you have students who are coordinating protests via Facebook and Twitter. I mean, they're really doing something really remarkable with it. We just update people on when you're standing in line at Starbucks or something like that.
I think students should have the right to say what they think, but when there are a lot of crazy people out there who might take advantage of them.
And why should there be any more of a risk in doing this?
Hey YouTube, so today I heard that
As opposed to this?
tonight's top stories.
Things won't get better until we change the status quo. And how are we kids gonna do that?
We make a voice, a loud one with a cause, one that supports my right,
my trials,
my tribulations.
My freedom.